In your TM, work package 148, it tells you about the trailer, okay? So you got it, so go ahead and just make sure you got a little handle on that if you're gonna check your trailer. A lot of times you think you got it. Didn't y'all have some issues when y'all came down? Wasn't it, you had a tire that was messed up?
For our PQAS?
Yeah.
Last QLX?
Yeah.
We had a lot of issues. So.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of going on, right? But see, that's what happens. But remember this, that's a part of training. And a lot of people think that's bad. That's not necessarily bad. Because if I know what's going on in training, when the real thing come along, I'm set. Because I already know what to expect. So ain't nothing wrong with that. But pull this one to go with your PMCS. PMCS is in a different location. I think this work package is what? Work package 0084. It's a total different work package. So keep that, and I'll give that to you if you don't have it already or if you don't know it. All right. First thing, what is that telling us to do?
MB, before interval, shelter exterior, visually inspect shelter exterior for damage and missing components or hardware.
Okay, let's do that. All right, let's walk around, see what we got. You see anything wrong? Anything that needs to be done? Watch your steps, please don't trip over the rest of the road. How deep is that ground run? 8 inches? 8 inches? 8 inches? Yeah. All right, I got you. All right, good stuff. All right. Now, a lot of things like, remember that sad piece I was telling you about, this paper? It's the one that talks about this point over here, but what it doesn't tell you is the stuff that goes on here with the tires. With the tires, it may leak in the front, but it may not leak in the front. So you may have to go back here, reach back here, and make sure it's not leaking in the back. Okay? That's a part of it just to check, because you're on the road, you don't want no issues with that. That's a pain in something else. All right, so you want to check those two. You shouldn't have to worry about your brake boxes at this point. Y'all know what your brake box is? Have you ever heard of that? Let me tell you what your brake boxes is. You got 4 of them for each cylinder, for each fuel tire cylinder. If you come over this way.
Check it out, guys.
You see that black box right there? See it right there? Yeah. Like cylindrical. Okay, you got one on each one for each wheel hub. Okay, you got one for each. If there's a screw in there, let maintenance know. That means your brakes are not activated. Okay, if there's a screw in there, there'll be a screw sticking out. If it's sticking out, you just say, hey, maintenance, my brakes are not activated. And maintenance will take that out for you. You won't do it, but you just got to check it. Okay, you see what I'm talking about? See it there? All right, good stuff. The other point I want to make with the trailer is this here. See how this is locked in place? What's locked in place? Look here. See that?
Yeah.
It's locked in place this way so that this will be locked down. Everything is locked down. If it's not locked in place for every corner and you hit a bump, you can possibly lift this up. And if you lift it and it come off of the track and you're on the road, you got a problem. Okay, so you don't want that. So always make sure this is locked. If it's not, and for most part, if you've never checked it, it's probably right here. It's a hex nut there. It's probably there and been frozen there. In other words, it's been solidified because it's rusted because it's just been sitting there the whole time. So getting WD-40, trying to get that to loosen up would be a good idea. They take you a little hex wrench and loosen that or tighten it as you need to. Okay, it'll help you out a lot with that one. That's involved in the trailer. Now, as far as the lab itself goes, you're looking for this. You're looking on the outside. Now, for you young people, I've always had my young soldiers, you climb up to the top, and you look at the top. You're looking for any type of leaks or holes that might be up there. You got to be careful if you're up on top, because there's nowhere to grab other than the corner. So you get up there, you walk around, make sure ain't nothing going on up there. If there's something happening, you got to make sure you write that down. And you got to get it done quick. You got to get it done quick because that means water's going to come in there. And with water, you get mold, you get deterioration. So you want to make sure you're good. So you do get up there and check that. As a young soldier, you get up there and check your lab. It's your lab. Okay, you're going to be the one taking it out. Let's see, that's it for this part. And then all the way around, you're making sure everything's good. Okay, so no issues. What we got next?
Inspect stair assembly pads for binding ward, loose, or missing components.
Oh, you're good.
How's y'all stairs? Good? You have any problem with the knobs loosening it up? These here? All right. If you do, these are made of aluminum. I took a wrench and said, I will loosen it. That joker said, pop. I said, well, so much for a wrench. So you want to try to keep it loose as possible. If you got something that's going to loosen it up, I like to use that. Use that, loosen it up. If you don't, and this doesn't, get you a 2x8 or 2x6. I got a 2x4 right here. You put it under the steps because your steps should not tilt inward or tilt downward, rather. If it does tilt downward and you misgrab this, it'll catch your feet right here. If you've ever fell on your face before, it ain't fun. Okay, so you don't want that. These things grab it really easy. So be very careful. Stick something under there if you're out there. If you're on a hill or something, you gotta stick something under there. If you're on the hill, this won't come out because these are messed up. You're gonna have to improvise on that situation. You gotta make sure you're good. What else we got?
Storage door. Open door. Check for binding, worn, loose, or missing components. And water damage.
Okay, one of y'all grab the door. Open the door for me. Pull it on up. Use the superhuman strength. Don't use the weak strength. Use the superhuman. All right. Go ahead and open it all the way. That's the locking point up there. Okay. It locks up there. You see the little yellow lever? Push up on it. Pull it this way so it'll close. Okay. That's how you close it. Now, what are you looking for? The binding here. It should be stuck or it should be glued. It should not be loose or coming apart. You get issues with that, and what will happen, you get moisture in your lap. You don't want that because that mold, again, mold is a terrible thing. It's not healthy either. It can mess up your lungs. So make sure this is good to go. Set. Check all those things. If your door handle is not operating properly, pull it down like this. If you come over here on this side, you'll see a grease point. See that? That grease point. You can get you a grease gun, or you can ask maintenance for a grease gun, and then you just squirt the grease in there, and you'll pack that with grease so this will move easy. Okay, that's what you want to do. Okay, just so you'll know that if you have an issue with that. Okay. Other than that, you shouldn't have a problem with the hinges unless somebody's just doing something stupid. You shouldn't have a problem with the hinges. Truck back up into it or something like that. That's when you got an issue. That's going to be one heck of an issue too. But go ahead and do that. Somebody go ahead and close that for me. Nah, don't pull the door. Pull right where you push that button up. There you go.
Don't pinch your hand. Yeah, it'll latch on. It'll take skin with you.
He brings up a good point.
That's an ouch.
If you
It's
hide
at
until
least
you
a
don't have
blood
to do no
blister.
work,
It's
and
no
don't
fun.
hide in the back of this thing here.
He was cool with it, but I was
Okay.
like, oh.
It's full of fumes.
Once you've done it one time, you sympathize real quick. I don't know what you're talking about.
Leveling jack. One of y'all grab that drill over there for me. All right, you'll notice that this drill comes with your lab, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you notice I put a hammer portion on this. And the reason I put the hammer portion on this is because if you do use this to move this for some reason, you're gonna need the hammer to hold this. Because this thing here will jerk it right out of your hand. And if you're not paying no attention, it'll break your wrist. Okay, so you put the hammer on there so I can control it. Okay, this is the primary for leveling this slab. This is the primary point. 4 primary points. Here, and there's 2 on the other side. 4 primary points. When you set your lab up, if it's pretty flat, usually we'll just set up right here. I don't go no further than this. The problem with this is this really isn't made to support that type of effort. But if it's pretty flat, that's all I'm gonna work with. I don't need to mess with this. Now the problem is that we don't mess with this at all, then actually this is frozen. And you can't mess with it when you want to mess with it. So there's a little locking pin in here. You loose that locking pin. I just had a unit bring theirs in last week. And their locking pin was loose, but they still couldn't get this thing to move. And that was an issue for them. They had to have somebody that could probably take a look at that. But you got 4 legs. You can order your legs if you need to order new ones. I think you guys are good to go on y'all's, right? Think y'all good? Y'all guys are good on y'all's too, right? Well, you almost good, right?
We're getting there.
You get it. All right. All right, good stuff. All right, so we got that. We good to go on your legs. What else? What else we got now?
Power distribution.
Okay, that's over here. PDU. Here's your PDU right here. I want you guys to take a look. One of y'all pop that open and look in the battery in the box. See what you see. All right, what batteries look like? Two batteries, right? 2 optimal batteries. They're pretty good. You guys familiar with that? Come take a look. If you're not familiar with it, take a look. Familiar with it, you're good. If you're not, all right, that's pretty interesting, right? That's your battery box, right? You want to do that, you do. Have maintenance replace your batteries. Now, sometimes we'll tell you if it's going to be sitting for a long time, disconnect the blue leads, okay? Because your battery will drain. So you want to disconnect those what we call blue leads. The blue is the negative, the red is the positive. Okay, y'all familiar with batteries?
Oh.
You all familiar with them? Okay, which one do I take a loose first? Blue is right. I take the blue one loose because it's the negative charge. If you leave the blue connected and you try to take loose the positive, you're gonna get a big surprise. And I assure you, that shock is something else. You'll see it. I've seen a fry wrench before, fry hole in a wrench. That's how bad it is. So you want to take that blue loose. If you have to do that. Now you don't run into that situation when you got support. What happens is you're out there by yourself in the lab, and now all of a sudden you want to have to do something with the batteries. That's when you got to do that stuff. So you kind of got to know that. All right? That's just something you want to know. That's boom. All right.
Generator, extension mechanism, and locks.
Okay, let me get some high speed that's going to work with the generator mechanism and lock. High speed first. Do somebody high speed. Low speed then. Give me a low speed first. Low speed first. Come on, I'm going to talk you through it. I'm going to make sure you're good to go.
How you gonna stop?
I wanted to see him do it without the socket.
Yeah.
I wanted, with
With
the hand crank, you know.
All right. One can do one can do the other. So you'll do that side, you'll do this side. What you're going to do, you come on up here, you'll be on that side right there. And what you're going to do is you're going to push that down. Turn it out to the left, to the right, to the left. Push down, push down, push down. Work it down and leave it
you're
down.
good.
There you go.
Get
Now
in there.
take it out. There you go. Take that. See this here? Okay, go ahead and put it on there. I want you to pull it out for me. Okay.
Okay.
Well, try it. Try it. There you go. See, you put it here with strength. See that? Make that go. Awesome. Good stuff. Now, I'm gonna take it out all the way. That's good. That's good. No further. Just want to make sure you understand how this comes out. It comes all the way out. Okay, if yours come all the way out. The only problem is you don't want to leave it out. Consistently leave this thing out, the track will bend.
Bend, yeah.
Very little. If it bends just a little bit, you won't get it back in. If you don't get it back in,
You can't take it home.
all right, so now, once it's out, you check. You actually, once it's out, I would get up there and look at everything, make sure everything is good on my generator. I would look at everything while it's out, and then put it back. But we're not going to we're not going to do that because everything is good. We're going to go ahead and push it back in. Wait, you put it back in the empty chain. Yeah, we're going to check that. We're going to check that. We're going to push it in first.
So while you had it out, that's when you check everything. All right, that's when you check the panels on both sides and do all your PMCSing of that. while it's out.
Now you gotta put it back and you gotta line it up. Push it all the way back. Now don't push it too hard. Squeeze the trigger slowly. It'll still go slow. Look over here. You see that hole right there? This one on this side, where my finger is? Yeah. You gotta line it up with the hole underneath. Little by little, not too much. Okay, so let's put those hooks back in there. If they don't fit, you just gotta adjust it a little bit more, okay? Push it in or pull it out a little bit more. Push down. All right. Pretty easy, right? What else we got?
Fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher? Wow, we missed that joke. We got fire extinguishers?
Well, there's a few steps here, but those are all related to pulling those out. Or...
But no.
Nope.
Yeah, let's go through each one of those.
Okay. Generator control panel.
All right, open up your generator control panel here. Go ahead and open that up for me. Take a look at that. All right. You make sure this works. You make sure everything's good on it. You can check this, or you can wait till you start it up to check it, but you can check it by turning on number 2 ignition, and you can kind of see what's going on here. You can see, it's hard to see now because the sun's reflecting on it, but you may have to do this to see what's going on. Want to make sure everything works on it. All right, just checking that, make sure everything's in good shape. And then what else?
Generator housing.
Generator housings is just the whole thing. Looking at the whole thing, walking around that whole thing to see what it looks like.
Generator air filter.
All right, now, this is the part here. I need somebody to be high speed. Where high speed person at? Here's somebody high speed, man. Oh, there we go. There we go. Awesome. This is what we're going to do with this here. This screw here is already loose. You don't have to worry about loosening it. But normally, for you guys, you loosen that screw a little bit. This screw right here. And what you want to do is you're going to pop this off. This is your metal. It has to come off. So you want to put your blade, and I'll show you where to do it. I won't let you do it. Put your blade right up under here and pop that off. I want you to get some hands on with that. Here, hold that for me. All right, so let's see what we do. Let's do this. See how it goes. Go ahead, pop that. Hold it with your hands so it won't back come up. Go ahead. That's it. That's all you got to do. All right, then we take this. Now loosen that screw right there. So what I want to do is I want to leave this portion in, and I'm going to pull just this portion out. So it's at an angle like that, okay? Go ahead. Pull this out. Just reach around and pull that out. Go ahead. Hold it. Good. That's good enough. Now take this loose. 3 of them. One on the other side also. Okay. This one, remember, that's what's got to come up. This one's got to come up. There's one over here. One back here. There you go. Push it. Pop that off. All right, take the top off. There you go. All right, good. Pull that out. Okay, let everybody see it. That's your air filter. It's your air filter. You can use a blower to blow this out, or you can replace it. A lot of times y'all got, I don't know if y'all still got them, but you got filters in the back. It's a black box back there that's got these filters in it. So you want to go ahead and throw a new one in there. But if you don't have a new one, take your air blower and blow this one out. Now, look at the front of this. See the arrows? Going up, so this goes like this. There you go. Pull it back. There you go. Last one. What you need? Outstanding. Now you can put this back. Like that. Put it right there on the top. Push it on the bottom. There you go. That's pretty easy, right? Pretty easy stuff. All right, where we at?
Generator engine.
All right, now we're gonna take a look at the engine. Let me somebody. Here you go. You have it. Pretty tough, right? All right. Go ahead and I want you to turn these counterclockwise. Turn to the left. As far as they go. Do that for all of them. All the way. And take it out. Slide it over. All right. When you're dealing with your engine, you're looking for leaks or anything that's obvious. Okay, I'm looking for leaks. If I want to look for a leak, I'm gonna look in the bottom of that. I don't want to see no oil or nothing in the bottom of it. Good stuff. All right. Now, other than that, I'm gonna reach over here. This is my belt. My belt should be tight, so I'll reach on this side and pull on my belt to make sure my belt is tight. If your belt is not tight, your alternator won't put power back into your battery. Okay, and so that your battery will go out and you won't know why. Okay, so you just want to make sure you check the belt. Okay. Outstanding. All right. How about the oil? What did the oil look like?
Paper towel right there.
Okay, wipe it off completely first. All right, now stick it back in there. Push it all the way down. Now take it out. Let's see what it looks like. I know it's ugly, but if you look at the notch here, and there's a notch there. It has to be between the two notches. You can turn on it and see it. Yeah. Go ahead and wipe that off. Good to go. You can tell them some more about the oil, or Charles, about the oil.
All right, now if you look up here on this cap, all right, you'll see up there it says 10W30. All right, no, don't do that. Looking at TM, and it tells you, was it 1540 diesel that it takes? So don't go by what's on that cap right there. All right.
All right, got that. All right, good stuff. Where we at now?
AC alternator air filter.
Okay, go ahead and put the cover back on. You want to let somebody else do that? Or you want to do it? Okay, somebody else. Go ahead and put the cover. Somebody else, come on. Yeah, put the cover back on. How you say your name, bro?
48, sir.
Say again?
48.
48? Wait, that sounds French.
Nigeria.
Nigeria, that's sharp, man. I like that. That's good. Turn it clockwise. Good to go. Now turn it all the way around then. All the way. All the way. Oh, you gotta push it all the way around. All the way. There you go. There you go. Another one. There you go. Awesome. Now we're on point. Okay, where we at? Now, oh, filter.
Yeah.
Go ahead, let's take a look at our filter. Here's one right here, but this is where it will sit here. Pop that off. And usually that's why he was saying when it's all out, you do all your checks when the generator's already out. This filter is a K&N filter. You can clean this and use it again, okay? You have the stuff for that. Matter of fact, it's right here. I brought it out so you can see what I got.
Yeah, it's in the box in the
And
back.
your oil, it's in the back of your PQAS-E, okay? So you don't use the water, just follow the directions on here. It'll tell you exactly how you should do it, okay? No problem. Pre-cleaning, and once you've done it, it's dried, put this oil on there. You see that. This is what you have. So you should have that. If you don't, then you can local purchase this. So I would tell Supply, hey, this is exactly what we need. We can buy it right there at Advanced AutoZone,
Napa.
any of them.
Yeah.
O'Reilly, wherever you shop it. Now you want to put this back. It goes on back like this. It's gonna go right up under there. Just put it back and then look here and see where this is hooked at so you'll know how to hook it back. See that hook right there? The hook's right on that hook. So take a look and see what that hook is at. Navy, only in Army, right? Okay, so what else we got?
Now we're fire extinguishers.
Now we're fire. Come over here to this thing here. Theology like the Army. This is fire extinguisher. Very old. Very, very old. If it's not working for some reason, now I don't know why they use this kind because it doesn't have a gauge so that you can know whether it's maintaining pressure or anything. So what they'll tell you to do is just hydrostatically test it, have it every 5 years. Now for the most part, almost nobody does that. But but it costs just as much to hydrostatically test it as it does to buy another one that size. So if you buy one that size, I would just have supply order a fire extinguisher about that size. And you want 5 pounds, I think it's 5 pound fire extinguisher. You want to do that, okay? And that'll help you out a lot because hydrostatic. Now the fire department used to trade them out. We used to take them to the fire department and they say, "Here you go, replace it," and they do anything else that needs to be done, but not no more. So now you got. Well, it depends on where you at. You may find something. But that's what you want to do with your fire extinguisher. Make sure it's good to go. What else we got?
Fuel tank and lines.
Fuel lines start over here, right here. What you don't want to do is when you roll this out or in, you don't want to get this stuck in the track. These can get stuck in the track and then it cuts off your fuel. So your fuel goes here, 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 this is the fuel line, and it goes all the way to the other side. So let's look on the other side.
Uh-oh.
No. Whoa.
Did they?
I hope they didn't walk away with our ladder.
Yeah, I think they did because it ain't here.
Can't be, man.
Yeah, they did.
They walked away with our ladder.
Yeah, they did.
I'm gonna
We'll
call
just
them
use
up.
the one from this one over here.
Yeah, we'll use this one. It looked like they walked away with our ladder, man. They had their ladder. We pulled theirs out for them.
Ladders have legs, guys, and they will walk off.
They got 4 of them, so they move twice as fast. I see how it is.
But
They'll be back.
yeah, they'll be back. We'll write that down too. This is your fuel tank. Holds about, supposed to say 55 gallons, but most I've ever been able to put in that's 40. The fuel lines you saw is on the back of the tank. Up top, you can see them on the back. That's where your fuel lines connect. So you got your fuel lines. The fuel gauge. Do you got fuel gauge work? Our fuel gauge don't work. You got fuel gauge work?
Yes.
Okay, so you're in good shape with yours working. Ours don't work, so we have to take something and measure it, see how much is in there. And we do that frequently, often. That's your fuel tank. What else we got?
ECU housing.
Okay, this is your housing for your ECU. All of this. Up top, there's 2 fans, so you want to make sure you look up top. Make sure ain't nothing going on or blocking or repeating your fans up there. That's your fans. What else we got?
ECU control panel.
Control panel. This here, you have to open that up. I think I can tell you something about it.
So that means when y'all come out for cooler, we're gonna steal y'all ladder.
Do it.
Passing it on. That's all. No, all right.
He don't have one.
That's why we took yours.
All right. This is your main fan speed switch. Stays down and it's in the off position right now. That's on this line, unless you're told otherwise by maintenance, that's the only switch you mess with on that line. Other than that, this is your temperature control. This is your panel light. This is your fan speed, and this is your remote control switch. Your fan speed on 1 is pretty much all you'll need. But your remote control switch, when it's on 1, you operate your temperature from the outside. You put it on 2, you operate your temperature from the inside. That's kind of pretty easy to understand. All right, that's how you're going to function with the controls. Make sure you're good to go. All right, what else we got?
ECU cables and ducts.
Cables and ducts. Did we talk about these?
Oh, yeah.
We ain't got to it yet? Okay. Cables and ducts. These are your cables. Here. Here's your ducts. Just want to make sure ain't no holes in them. Nothing going on with that. No holes in them.
Generator, radiator, and fan assembly.
Generator. Okay, we missed something. We're supposed to hit them right away.
Control panel.
Intake filters. You gotta go.
Okay.
Intake filters. All right. Intake filters. your intake filters, as you can see here, there's a small side and there's a large side. Your intake filters actually are fit to match how the air is coming. And it's coming at an angle. So your smaller side will be on the left-hand side, your larger side is on this side. And what you do is you just take it and you just put it on. Now, if it's not staying on, there is a place where you can screw it. Take your screwdriver and screw it and tighten it up so it'll stay on there. If you're traveling, take these off, put some covers on them. If you don't have the covers, take some plastic and get you a good solid rubber band, put it on there and cover up these holes, okay? If you don't have, because the covers dry rot. Those covers dry rot. I start breaking up many years afterwards. But these are also K&N filters, which means you can clean them also, all right? What else we got?
Generator, radiator, and fan assembly.
Okay, so now this book tends to run us back and forth, so let's go back. On this one. All right, how many radiators do I got on this? This one? You actually have two. Big one up here, this little one right here. So you got two radiators on this thing. And what you want to do is make sure that this bottom one is in its highest position. And that's by screwing this here right here. When you turn this will go up to its highest position. Now the way you know it's in its highest position is that this here piece is level like this. When you start screwing it, it'll do this. If it does that, this will be going down. Okay, you don't want that. So right now it's in its highest position by knowing that. So right now it's level, so this is in its highest position. That's what you want for your radiator. There's a little switch back here in the back. Make sure that switch is online when you operate it. It's online with the hose. Y'all see that switch back there? The switch. Yeah, you can see it. You see that switch, the switch has to be this way. A little switch. If you turn it the other way, you're not going to get fluid coming through. All right? You see it? Yeah, step up. See it? You see it right there? Yep. Okay. Little switch there. It has to be online with that. Okay, the hose. Right online with that hose. Yeah. What else we got?
ECU gate.
All right, now it's running us back here. Now let me mention something before I go back here. At the top of this, any of you ever changed radiator before? That's what a radiator. Okay, there's a little cap on the top. Step up there so you'll see what you're looking at. Look up top, because you may have to put radiator here. One of y'all or all of y'all go ahead and take a look at that so you see what you're looking at. There's radiator cap up there. You see the radiator cap? It's right along this line right here. Right on top. Right on top of this. Yep, radiator. See that radiator cap?
The one that covers on the fuel.
Yeah, that's it. That's your radiator cap. It's got radiator fluid in it. Okay, you want to be careful with that. If that radiator cap, don't never mess with it when it's hot. If this engine been running, don't open that radiator cap, or you're gonna get all the hot, super hot stuff that's in there coming out. So you want to make sure it stays closed. You push it down and close it. You actually, it's not hard to open, but you push it down and close it. See where we're at?
Right here.
Yes, that's it. So that's where you check your radiator fluid. Make sure you got the proper radiator fluid in there. Make sure you got that so your engine will continue to stay cool. All right, what else we got?
ECU.
All right, now we're going back over this. All right, this is your ECU gate right here. Look inside, there's another gate in there. If you're going to purge it, that gate has to be what? Open or closed? Closed, right. So we want to make sure it's closed. What if that little switch that locks it in place is gone? Can I still function?
No, not for you. It's going to flap around.
Huh?
It'll suck it in.
You can't. Because look, if I close this, what's going to happen? It's going to suck it right to it. So if my switch is missed, that little thing that locks it in place is not there, I still can function. I can still purge it. So I just close it up, close it. As a matter of fact, you're going to find a lot of units don't have that little switch. It breaks easy. So you want to make sure that you still close it and still function. Now when you open it, you want to open it and make sure it's all the way back. All the way back. You shouldn't have no issues with it. Where we at?
Ground rod assembly.
All right, ground and rod. How far the ground and rod supposed to go in? Oh, I thought you said okay, good. It's supposed to go in 8 feet. Do y'all have the equipment to put it in?
Yep.
You do? Just use the sledgehammer, right?
No, the slide hammer.
Oh, okay, okay. I was just checking. You know, it's because I had your sledgehammer. You know, let's see how far you can get with that. But no, that's you actually do have a hammer. Yeah, it's a pretty good hammer. You can hammer that in with. Hammer it in 3 segments. 3 segments. And that's now we're talking about by the book. Now, have I seen other stuff? Heck, the unit that just came out here had something had a crafty thing put together for their, and it wasn't going in 8 feet. That's for sure. So it was like, man, what they were doing, they were grounding both the PQAS-E and the generator, and they were using this the fuel grounding thing. But by the book, you're supposed to use this. All right, what we got?
Boot wall and MCPS.
There's your boot wall is up against the laboratory right there. That's called the boot wall. Your MCPS is this thing right here. That's your tentage. You can separate your tent from the boot wall if you want to. You can always do that if you'd like. But, pretty much, you're pretty much going to keep it attached. Unless you got extra tent. Okay, both doors are the same with one exception. Y'all have a gas analyzer? Do y'all have a gas analyzer?
I got it.
A gas analyzer?
No.
So you find that you don't. If that's the case, do not keep your chemicals in there. You want to get you someplace where you can store your chemicals and your fuels, so that if someone do want to come and take a look like EPW, you don't have that stuff in there. So they can say, okay, you got, yeah, they come look all day. I ain't got no chemicals in there, so I ain't worried about none of that stuff. So you're good to go. Your chemicals will be stored in a storage. We got a storage place for our chemicals inside of a flammable container. And we just got it stored inside the container there. But that's what you want. All right, what else we got? That might do it for the outside, right?
Supply air vent.
That's all inside. Like I said, that's good point.
Yeah.
All right, turn to the startup procedures. Y'all need to start this up.